everyone, and welcome to another television series video review. I'll be talking about the AMC television series with the name of The Walking Dead. I'll be discussing my thoughts and opinions on Season 11, Episode 8, titled For Blood, and it aired October 10th of 2021, and as always, as I said in my previous videos, always airs a week early on the AMC Plus streaming service if you guys have that. So what was this episode about? There will be spoilers coming up. This was a pretty big episode, in my opinion, and as of these first 8 episodes, it definitely, for me, is probably the best so far, and definitely, I would say, a very good, should I say, turning point in the series, as we have, like I said, spoilers coming up. We have the death of the Pope. We have sort of a turning point between Leah and Daryl's relationship, as Leah is going to have to pick sides. She either has to pick the side of the Pope and her family and the Pope's family and that whole thing, or she has to pick the side of Daryl's family. And we see at the end of this episode that she decides to, even though she is the one who put the knife to the Pope's throat, that she blames the death of the Pope on Daryl. So now, like I said, this is kind of the the pendulum moment in the series, or in this first 8 episodes. It's a big turning point where Leah has picked her side. She has decided to go against Daryl. I still feel like there's some sort of love or relationship between them. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but I do think there's still some sort of trust or love between them. They still feel for each other. They still have some sort of relationship or connection between each other. But because of this, I think this is kind of almost like they drew the line in the sand, or Leah did at least, saying, I chose my side, Daryl, you chose your side of Maggie, Negan, and Gabriel in the town of Alexandria, and now we're on opposing forces now, and it seems that now that the Pope's dead, it seems that our villain, or at least for the time being, if you want to call her a villain, our villain's going to be Leah for the time being. Overall, my thoughts and opinions about this episode of A Walking Dead, I really enjoyed this episode. This was a really neat episode. I will say I did expect the Pope character, or the Pope villain in this show, I did expect him just to last a little bit longer. He was introduced just a couple of episodes in, and all of a sudden, 4 or 5 episodes later, episode 8, he's killed off. I will say I was introduced, or I, expected him to last a little longer, as we were introduced to him so early, and all of a sudden his death came so early too. I wouldn't have minded him sticking around just a little bit longer, kind of like how the Alpha and Beta did, and have maybe a backstory about the Pope. Even though we knew his backstory, it would have been cool to see, actually see it in person, see it happen, similar to how they did with the Alpha Beta characters, and I believe in seasons 9 and 10. But overall, no complaints, really. A really cool episode. I will say, I do believe, like I said earlier in my previous videos, they're going to split the season into 3 different parts. Each part will consist of 8 different episodes, and I believe, if you want to call this sort of a mid-season finale, we're not halfway there yet, so I guess you can call it more of a 1/3 season finale, as the first third, or the first batch of episodes has been aired. So it'll be really curious to see where they go from here. I'm curious to see Maggie and Negan, and where they're going to go with their relationship, as we've talked about. There was a really cool scene between Virgil and Michonnes' daughter. That was a really cool scene between them two, as Virgil said that you are more like your mother than you know. He tells I see the way you hold your sword. It reminds me of the same way Michonne held her sword. So there's that really nice scene between them. I thought it was awfully ironic how there's a storm brewing outside, and as that storm brews outside, zombies are getting in, and it really set the tone for the episode. This is one of those episodes that ends on a cliffhanger, as zombies are storming their way in the house. It ends right there, and as they launch those sort of dynamite explosive arrows from that device that the mercenaries, of the Pope's mercenaries, made, and it ends right there as those arrows are being shot. So we're going to have to wait a couple of months. I'm not sure how long, maybe early next year. I wouldn't think they'd want to air episodes around the holiday season, since you have all that sort of Christmas and Thanksgiving sort of holiday programming that'll be coming on in the next couple of months. But either way, a great way to end this first batch of episodes. If for some reason I'm wrong and another episode does air next week, then I'll make sure to put out another video. And as always, if you have the AMC Plus streaming service app, it always airs on there a week early, as I said earlier, and then earlier I've also said in other videos. Either way, a great episode. I'm really curious to see where Rick's at, where's Michonne at, is what's-his-name still alive inside the church? There's a lot of unanswered questions that we're going to have to see. And like I said, is there going to come a point where Leah just, realizes the wrong she's done? I don't think Leah's, everyone does what they want for their own reasoning, and you really can't say Leah's in the wrong because she thinks that the she believes, and she's right in a sense, that the mercenaries are her family. This is the only family she's ever known. So will there come a point where she's going to turn against her family and join up with Daryl's family? I'm really curious to see if that'll happen too. But either way, once again, thanks for watching, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe below of my AMC television series, the name of The Walking Dead, Season 11, Episode 8, titled For Blood. Thanks for watching.